stuff in that universe.
Yeah, especially, well, I know that the Rob Liefeld characters were retconned to their own universe for Shattered Image.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be right back.
Same thing with the Wildstorm. They retconned them to their own universe as well. And the only reason why they did that because Jim Lee took the characters and gave them DC.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate that's the case.
Which have you heard that they're getting their own universe again?
Yeah, or supposedly.
Yeah, it's going to be headed by Warren Ellis, not by Jim Lee this time.
I'm sure
the guy
Jim
who
Lee,
did The Authority.
Yeah, I'm sure Jim
Yeah.
Lee is going to do some more later on. Takes time.
Yeah, the other thing he's doing now, he's doing the arc for Suicide Squad. I'm not sure which part, because right now it's a split book where you have the regular story and a one-shot backup feature which features like a spotlight on all the members.
Yeah.
I think Lee does the backups.
Probably.
Which makes sense because the guy, he has a history of basically taking his sweet time of basically doing artwork for a book.
Never mind. That's true.
Much in the case of
Go on.
much in the case of books like Superman Unchained and All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder.
All right. I'll just say this about comics.
My friend Noah?
Yeah.
No, Jim Lee.
Oh, yeah, Jim.
Yeah,
I'll just say this. I'll just say this about Marriage Comics just before we go on. Marriage Comics can happen, and you can do it very well.
Yep.
It's just that for how long you want to do it. That's the big point.
Yes.
I say. Because marriage, it just like it feels like to me. There's only so much, unless you want to do like a Fantastic Four type where you want to have where it's a family type thing. Which that I could go on.
Yeah.
And which DC is doing with Superman, which I've been loving.
Yep.
And they're gonna do that with Spider-Man with Marvel. But for me, it only takes a matter of timing that they do it right, and because sometimes it just be's redundant. That's the whole thing.
Agreed.
I know you liked fucking Mary Jane and Peter Parker together, but there were, no offense, they had a lot of boring storylines. But I digress.
Yeah,
I'll be right
that's
back.
true. I do agree with that. I do understand where you're coming with that because
because of how Mary Jane was written in the Clone Saga.
Yeah, the Clone Saga was where everyone thought, but that's not true. With more editorial bullshit.
I mean, people tend to forget DC does have another married couple aside from Superman and Lois Lane.
Yep.
And it's Animal and his wife, Elaine.
That's true. Plus, before the New 52, DC also had the Flash. Why wasn't Linda Park?
I think there was a handful of married couples DC had prior to the relaunch.
Yeah, there were. Green Arrow, Black Canary. They were married once.
They were separated at the time of DC relaunch. They never divorced. They separated.
Yeah, that's true.
And the only reason why that she did that because Green Arrow killed Prometheus.
Yep. Darren Cry for Justice, which that's a train wreck of a story.
Really?
And speaking of Cry for Justice, Prometheus is the main villain of season 5 of Arrow.
Of course.
Who's Prometheus?
He's this. If you ever see a picture of him, he's this big hulking guy who is responsible for possibly one of the most controversial deaths in the history of comic books. Killing off a little girl, but yeah, they didn't show her body. She was in Star City, and Prometheus blew up half the city with one of his bombs, and Leanne was actually in Star City at the time.
Yep. Which also led to 2 miniseries, Rise of Arsenal and Fall of Green Arrow.
The Fall of Green Arrow book was actually really good.
Yeah. You guys are
But,
awesome, man. What garbage?
Yeah. If you look him up, Edgar, he has a very bizarre look, and he did make a recent appearance in comics. He recently reappeared in the Midnighter series. He apparently was posing as Midnighter's boyfriend, and I'm like, really? Out of all villains for Midnighter to face off against, they choose quite possibly one of the most hated villains in DC Comics in the last 15 years, Prometheus. And he gets defeated within a few issues.
Alright. Yep. Alright, what's the story? Shall we?
Yep.
Hang on, I know we're not on YouTube. I'm live. How are you doing? William Thomas Miller, he's my guest.
Yeah, what's up, Doodles?
Hello.
Yep. Confidence in it. And we're talking about marriages in comics. Specifically Marvel, DC, Image, any couple in comics.
Alright.
Like,
The marriage thing for me in comics is a really great way to do more, to tell us how a superhero can go. Times, and this is redundant, and I mean very redundant. It gets very tedious on how the storylines go. However, I feel like it makes the character more interesting and all that stuff. But how it's just, you have to do it well. You have to make it consistent base before it gets a boring thing, and you just don't want to go see that shit anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, people. You may hate me or love me. I like all. Actually, I take that back. I loved a lot of Superman hooking up with Diana. It was a really interesting direction for Clark and Diana on terms of their relationship, how they respect one another, and just how they took care of each other, and just that.
Yep.
That told me a lot. How, like, why can't we see more of this? It's just. I digress.
Zoom in that didn't really. Like to this stupid arc, which I did review, and this book was horrible.
Wait.
Why did I read this garbage?
Yeah, that has nothing to do with marriages, Tibia.
I know, but it does sort of.
But the thing with
go on.
The thing with Superman and Wonder Woman is that prior to them actually hooking up, which happened in Justice League number 12, DC had been wanting to do this for a little over 20 years.
That's true. Like it was hinted in Dark Knight Returns garbage.
Yeah. Which they're still together in Dark Knight Remaster Race.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And they have another kid together.
Yep. Thank you, Dark Knight again. Thanks. God, a story horrible.
Yeah. But
they got hooked up.
And them making out in Justice League 2 was not the first time DC has did that in the mainstream continuity. They did that also in Action Comics 600 as well.
Wait. Wasn't that a mind control story with Apollo?
No, it was not mind control. This is before Superman and Lois. This is after Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh,
this is about a decade before their famous marriage that they did with the wedding album. Awesome one shot. Anybody can try it out. They kissed at the end of one comic and kind of continued into Action Comics 600. And Wonder Woman was not expecting Superman to do that. But they ended up becoming friends afterwards, and of course Superman started being with Lois right after that.
Yep.
He never went anyplace, but it was just an idea that John Byrne had back in the 80s.
Interesting.
Which I definitely liked how they put them together again in recent comics. But however, I was hoping one day we would see them get married, and hopefully,
which they always did.
They almost did, yeah, and they almost did that, and I was like, that's a sign. That's a good step for not only for the this carnation for Superman, but also this carnation of Wonder Woman as well. So I'm like, it was kind of like the best of both worlds, you could say. However, I just feel like they could have gone with it, but just yeah. But
Instead of
so,
trying Superman, they could have done like
tell you, I'm not done yet. But right now with Superman, they're doing a good job. I feel like even though they brought back the pre-52 Superman, the way they're doing him now is a really quite interesting how they doing him, because I haven't seen them doing like this like ages. They're definitely giving a big push, giving him a family, having him at least teach his son to be a hero and control his powers, and that was interesting. I really like that a lot. That's something I liked.
Which in the next issue of Superman, John Kent is going to meet Damian Wayne.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Boy, that's gonna be fun.
I can't see that.
Yeah, and that's going to lead to the Super Son series, which Period Tomasi is writing that series with Phil Jimenez doing the artwork. The same guy who does Superwoman.
Yeah.
Which, it's an interesting duo.
Yep.
I'll just say about the Superwoman comic, I don't know what's the point of that comic now.
I mean, it was originally announced, I think it was supposed to be New 52 Lois, supposed to be Superwoman. Yeah, it was originally announced to be her, then she died in issue 1. Those of you who read issue 1, yeah, she dies in issue 1. And basically, it was kind of like, basically the book is a complete focus on Lana now as Superwoman.
Yep.
So basically, DC kind of played it up like, yeah, it was going to be pre-New 52 Lois, but it turns out it was actually New 52 Lana. Which, anybody who's read her in any of the comics she's been in the last few years, she's written pretty decently by other writers. I mean... Yeah,
she was. Even during the whole Truth arc, during this train wreck, she was written well in that train wreck, even though...
She was okay. She was okay at that. Like, to me, she was all right. Lois in the New 52, okay, yeah, I'll agree. The what she did to Clark, I would kill her off for fucking. But for me, I feel like it's just I'm like, okay, first you say it's fucking Lois, now you're saying it's Lana now. Make your goddamn mind. Seriously. I mean, have it where it's the right direction you need to go. But I digress. I don't know what else I could say on that. But Marriage, I feel like I like how they introduce characters where they you have them get married and you take it to the next level. Fantastic Four, for example. Susan Storm and Reed Richards were always married, and they always have problems, but they always care for one another. That's something I always...
Yeah, and something I did not know until like about a year ago. Apparently, Marvel has had ideas of splitting up the Richards, but they won't do it. Yeah, this is basically that. Yeah, this is an idea thrown around since I'd say the 80s, but I think there's one reason why they won't do it. Stan Lee.
Yeah, like that, it would be a bad idea because Marvel.
No. So you're telling me Stan Lee's the only guy that would say no, fuck you, no. Just, yeah.
The reason why it's like that because 1, he's a popular guy, and 2, he has a bunch of power at Marvel. That's the reason why.
Oh, so he could do that shit. Okay.
Wait.
Yeah, he has a lot of influence at Marvel because he's been working for Marvel since the 40s.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait a minute. Wait. If he has all the power to basically stop them from spreading the glitches, why couldn't he do that for...
why couldn't he do that with Mary Jane and Peter?
Reason why? There is a reason for that. Because he didn't write the annual that had their marriage.
Who did?
I don't know. You have to look it up. I know it was an annual 21. whoever wrote the annual, he probably didn't have much power at Marvel like Stan Lee does. Yeah, that's it. You have to open up the comic, open up the thing, and see who wrote it. Because I don't remember who wrote it. It might have been Tom DeFalco who wrote it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't open it because I put tape on it. Actually, I got no idea.
I'll just say this. Okay, the fact that we got that clear, that makes kind of sense. But yet again, here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about that, breaking up the marriage. If you're going to break up a marriage, make it where it's, like, logical. Like, okay. You want to have Mary Jane and Peter Parker break up? Fine. Whatever. Even though it's a stupid move, whatever. We'll see.
Yeah, but how they did it was really bad.
Yeah,
exactly. The most insulting factor where you literally...
I know. That's from Deadpool. I think that's issue 9.
5.
Oh, yeah. Is it still?
Yeah, this happened in issue 5. There was a teasing that it could come back in that issue. Yeah. It happened in issue 5. Mephisto making his first appearance in 9 years in a Spider-Man comic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And...
Yep.
Oh, Shooter wrote, okay.
Yeah, Jim Shooter and David Michelinie.
Okay. I know Edgar's familiar with Dave Michelinie because he wrote Iron Man.
Oh, yeah. He was good at Iron Man, too.
Yeah, he wrote it.
He
Shooter,
did.
I think the reason why that they allowed this one to go through, well, not just because of Quesada, because Jim Shooter has not had a good relationship with Marvel in probably almost 25 years.
Yeah. But at the same time, when they're planning to basically do like the original part of the Clone Saga, which was Ben Large to go into Spider-Man, and people are Mary Jane, their daughter, Mary Parker, I guess Spider-Girl, and they're happy ever after.
But Jim Shooter was an editor-in-chief at the time of the Clone Saga. It was somebody else.
Tom DeFalco, I think he was editor-in-chief.
Yeah, but I don't. But he's not the reason why it extended out so long as it did. It's not his fault, and it's not the creative team's fault.
Marketing team's fault.
It's marketing. Marketing was the reason why it stretched out to 3 years.
Yep. Like,
that's mainly the reason why.
Went to shit. Thank you, marketing team. Thanks.
Okay. My whole thing on the whole, them pretty much milking on the Clone Saga. The Clone Saga could have been a really good storyline. And I mean a very good storyline. The fact that it went that long.
3 years.
3 fucking years. It's just, everyone mentions, if you mention it brings, you bring that fucking piece of shit comic. It gives a bad taste in the mouth because it was so long, and they kept on saying, "Oh, Peter is a clone." No. Peter is not a clone. Peter is a clone. No. He's not a clone. And they kept on going. The reason
why this thing was started in the first place was because Nightfall and Death of Superman was selling so well at DC.
Exactly. And it's just like, for me, I kind of feel like the Clone Saga is a good storyline, and it doesn't get the respect that I feel it deserves. It had
good writers and good artists for it, but
yeah, exactly.
Like James DeMatteis, who was also working at DC at that point, doing Justice League America.
Speaking of Superman, I actually own this omnibus. This book is huge and very heavy.
Well, you know, Tivia, they did release. DC released a 5-volume new printing of Death of Superman.
Yeah, they did. I got this for my birthday.
Yeah, I actually told Dan Jurgens about it, and he was quite happy with it. He actually kind of knew about it. And in case you're wondering who did that famous symbol, you know that Superman symbol where it bleeds? I thought it was Jurgens did that. It was actually one of the market people who did that.
Huh. That's pretty cool. Nice.
Yep.
Anyways, back to that. Like, speaking of Marvel, in Marvel Comics DC, like, damn, Mike, who married a Marvel DC? Because I just saw a video on it, and the other 4, they're still married. Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, are they still married? I think.
I think they still are because Bendis did not say if they're no longer together. I think they're separated, but they're not divorced.
Yeah, so that's good. But
yeah, exactly. Because
right, that daughter. Right.
I mean, have you ever seen artists actually draw a wedding ring on Luke Cage's finger?
Nope.
No.
Even though that everybody knows that they are married, and their wedding issue is one of the most famous comics produced in the last 11 years.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and you have Stan Lee doing a cameo as the priest.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. But if you want to think of two really good writers who actually can do marriages really well besides Bendis.
Front to back, though. Spider-Go.
Yeah. Jeff Lemire.
Yep.
And Robert Kirkman.
Oh, yeah, he did. Invincible. I completely forgot about that.
And Walking Dead. He did marriage for that one as well.
That, too. Walking Dead, and I'm losing paper. Invincible, my alternate series, which Kirkman.
I'll be back in a few minutes, Tibia.
Well, okay, that's interesting to know about that. But however, I will say that it's just, to me, marriage, I do think that marriage is a good idea and good direction. And, you know, I like how they open doors for female superheroes like Mayday Parker or whatever. I do like that a lot. I mean, just there's a lot of things you can do. It's just, to me, I feel, and this is the one part I feel like you and I kind of like differ, have our opinions differ. It's just like when it's just forced down your fucking throat, and it's just like it's so goddamn boring and redundant. It just gets tiring. It gets tiring, and it's just like. And then you're like, can we just can we have Spider-Man just on its own trying to figure out shit? Because sometimes it or have fucking anything just evolves like Superman, let's say Lois is being a problem or whatever, and it's like, oh god, can we have a Superman storyline that doesn't evolve around this thing? And it's just like, it really tells me that. It really gives me that vibe, and just I feel like that needs to be said, and just how I feel.
You do make a good point in a way. Sometimes there's some way they do what should have meant. Like, I understand that. Believe me, I do. Sometimes I get tired of that, but at the same time, though, even though I am happy to look about.
Hell. My favorite couple is in Ultimate Spider-Man. Peter Parker.
The Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, Ultimate.
I agree.
That is probably the most well-written Spider-Man love story you could possibly ever do, besides Renew Your Vows and whatever. I mean, like.
I agree. Open Spider-Man is perfect. I love that series. That series might be one that to help me get probably one of the because I consider the main universe, so I read the Open Universe and when Open Spider-Man all 20 volumes.
But yeah, I digress. But it's just like, to me, I feel like they need to make it where it's like it's doing its own. You're doing some good storylines, good everything. It just needs to make sense sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want a comic book series that just doesn't make sense logically and just like, wow, that was quite convenient.
Yeah, like Iron Man with Dr. Doom, I think.
No. That's different. That's a legacy type characters. That's something like at first I was like, you saw my reaction to how Iron Man got supposedly die, and I'm like, I feel that killing him off is a dumb idea because next year he's coming back because 30 issues before we hit issue 600. So don't tell me he's not coming back. He is going to come back.
Yeah, wait. I'm wondering about why about Tony Stark. Wait, Tony Stark Iron Man get married because one over there, I know it's Pepper Potts. I think they could be.
Okay. Tony, he has hooked up with Whitney a few times. He's hooked up with a couple other people. I think he, like, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't one of Tony's lovers, I think, was it Marianne? Or I don't know. It's just, wasn't Tony Stark lovers died? I think yeah.
Yes, it was his girlfriend from Iron Man Volume 3.
Oh yeah, that was the one I was talking about. There was another one died, but that was
I think it was Kathy Dare, who dated him briefly. She did die.
Okay.
Wait, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Kathy Dare, she was a brief girlfriend of Tony's. They only dated in comics for about a year, and then they broke up.
Interesting.
Well, there was this one relationship that Tony had where Tony hooked up with this girl named Marianne, and pretty much she died. I think hold on, just give me the cover. Hold on, just need to get that shit right now. I think it was one issue, and it was in volume 1. Oh, is it? Issue 22. She died. It was Marianne, and I think she appeared in Tales of Suspense, the later issues on that.
It may be one of Tony's early girlfriends.
Early girl. It was early girlfriends before he hooked up with anyone else.
Yeah, and when it comes to Tony, like, for his best known love interest that I consider to be the best one, you probably agree or disagree with this, Edgar, but Pepper Potts.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I gotta agree with that. I have to agree.
Beth Cabe, even though they have been together since the first volume of the series.
Mm-hmm.
And Whitney Frost.
Oh yeah, that's a fucking.
The newest girl.
The one whose father is the super villain, Count Nefardia.
Oh. I don't be honest. I don't know who that villain is.
Count Nefardia is an Avengers villain.
Huh.
Yeah, I know him. I know him for exactly.
Yeah, and the guy, I think he's been dead once, but he keeps coming back for some reason.
Maybe he'll find an escape plan,
I don't know, and he's not the only Iron Man villain who has died and come back. Mandarin has done that a few times.
Whiplash.
Graviton has actually died and come back.
Yep. Whiplash, I think.
Who?
Whiplash.
I think Whiplash, the original one, is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone. But besides all that, I mean.
Actually, speaking of married, what with the X-Men? I know the X-Men, they have married a couple of
yeah. The ones. Okay. I don't understand why people are heavily against on Emma Frost and Scott Summers. I think they're both good. They're both taken care of. I know they could be written well for a perfect relationship, and kind of be a replacement for Scott Summers for Jean. But it's just
yes.
I feel
here's the reason why they hate that relationship, because of how it started.
Oh, okay. You do tell. I'd love to hear this.
Grant Morrison wrote it, and I think it was his last official issue he wrote, he had it where Emma Frost and Scott Summers made out at Jean Grey's grave.
What?
I was shocked too.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this actually happened.
That is the most stupidest, most random idea you could possibly ever get.
Yeah, and it happens in the last Grant Morrison issue.
Oh my god. Wow.
On the last page.
Wow.
I don't know what he was smoking.
Yeah, and I think this is one of his very few Marvel works, because when people think of Grant Morrison, people think of his work for DC, like Doom Patrol, Batman, The Invisibles.
Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to New X-Men, I mean, this is, he set up some controversial stuff. I mean, heck, his version of Magneto was retconned to be an imposter.
Yeah, but now Chuck Austin did that.
I'll just say this. I'll say this right now. This whole thing it just like wow.
Yeah.
That's why people hate their relationship. I mean, like,
Yes.
talk about, okay, I can understand. I didn't get it at first, but now I'm like, well, it's no wonder people don't like that shit. That's kind of like a disrespectful, not only for Scott and Gene fans, but just to say, yeah, this relationship is better.
It happened in the finale.
Yeah,
Here Comes Tomorrow storyline, which was Grant Morrison's last major storyline he did for New X-Men 4 was retitled to simply X-Men with Chuck Austin take over for like a year on the comic.
Chuck Austin retconned all Grant Morrison's work and making it impossible.
The only thing that they did not retcon from his run was the destruction of Genosha. They kept that canon. And the right of Xavier's.
Yeah, which I know that Chuck Austin X-Men I heard horrible, like really bad.
I'll say this. I feel like it could work. I'm like looking at it. I'm like, okay. I'm looking at for Bendis' run, which I didn't really care for his Uncanny run. That's the only thing I could think of that I didn't care for. But that relationship, I felt like the way everything was handled, the way everything was, I feel like it was a good relationship. They both loved each other.
I think it was Bendis was the one who ended the relationship in the first place between Scott and Emma.
Didn't he end it during AVX during this tie-in?
Yeah, he did. And AVX also ended another relationship, which I disagree with the ending of this relationship.
Black Panther and Storm.
That's the one part. Okay, I'm gonna say this one other thing. I don't know what was Bendis' thinking when he did that. Like when I heard you told me that he broke them up, like, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute. How good this can be? Because he is the guy. He's the type of dude where he makes relationships. He doesn't break them, and if he does, it makes it where it's like logical. I mean, just yeah.
Yeah, I really feel bad out.
And it was written in story. The reason why the marriage ended was because Storm sided with the X-Men against the Avengers.
Well, we could have ended it like your whole summers. That's the reason why.
Okay. If it's a disagreement, that's not how you break a relationship. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and despite the fact these two have had sex many times when they were married, Black Panther annulled the marriage because he's also the head priest of the Black Panther cult
and king,
and the King of Wakanda. Though he's given up
it's like, over the years. What's this Avengers versus X-Men?
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
It was,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I only read like one issue on Avengers versus X-Men, but I have seen the big stuff happen. But besides all that, if that is how they ended that relationship, that is a piss poor relationship. Because I feel like that you need to make it where it makes sense, and it's just it doesn't.
The marriage happened in the pages of Black Panther.
Yeah, and I feel like
during the original Civil War.
Really? Okay.
Yes, it did.
Okay,
and the relationship was active for 6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
Wow, that's a long time for that.
Oh, and here's something quite weird. Storm lost her virginity to Black Panther.
What?
Okay.
Yes. When she was 13.
What?
Yes. Of course, Black Panther is not that much older than Storm. It's around the same age, so it kind of does make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. But I'll just say this. This, like, it's cool seeing, like, it's cool where they had a relationship. It was really good. But I feel like them breaking them up was just like, okay, why did you break up? Did they give off a reason?
Well, the reason stated was even still to this day is quite dumb, and it's only been 4 years since AVX.
Because I'll just say this: I feel like they need to get hooked up again. Because why not?
Yes. And here's the thing: Hickman tried to rehook him back up during his run for New Avengers before they jumped 8 months into the future.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How he did it was that apparently off panel they had sex, and here's Black Panther standing in the X Mansion in Storm's bedroom, like implying, yeah, they had sex afterwards, like because they thought the world was going to end. So Black Panther's like, I think I'll reunite with my ex-wife.
Yep.
Hey, why not? He's gonna die.
And there's even a weird thing in the most recent issue of Black Panther where someone asked Storm, like, why did you marry him? I thought that was a bit weird, and this is from the current Black Panther book.
So, are they coming back together or not?
I don't know. I hope they are, because currently the Reason State American Hero comic, the book has been awesome under IDW. It's like Hasbro has not put any bans on this book. Everybody appears in it. Everybody.
Not Ninja. The guys, Storm Shadow, Duke.
Yeah, and here's something a bit weird. Apparently, in the American Hero comic, at one point, Snake Eyes died.
What? That sucks. I like Snake Eyes. He was my favorite character in G.I. Joe.
I think in American Hero, I think he's supposed to be dead, but I think he came back. But in the IDW continuity, he never died.
That's good news.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we just went way off topic, literally.
Yeah, I know. But one thing before we continue, one thing I do not like about Revolution is how they write Scarlet.
Who's Scarlet? Like, remind me who that character is.
The redhead G.I. Joe.
Oh,
G.I. Joe.
Yeah. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
she had red hair.
Yeah. She's run like a complete jerk in this entire event. She's like anti-Transformer the whole time.
Oh,
It's one of those characters. It's one of those fucking characters.
Yeah, but it's not like Maria. It's not like Maria Hill during Civil War, the original.
Or Civil War 2.
Yeah, but if you're wondering how they explain Mask in their new continuity, is they get their technology for their cars from the Transformer Cup.
Okay.
Yeah, they kidnapped him, dissected him, and used some of his parts of his body to build the Mask cars.
What? What the fuck? Who came up with that idea?
This sounds like no offense, but this sounds like Transformers 4. You ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this sounds like.
Yeah, we have to read the Revolution Mask one shot to get the whole story.
Alright.
Where with the mask? It might have been the one from the movie, right?
No, it has nothing to do with Jim Carrey. This came out years before that.
Yeah, the Dogfish comic. I remember.
It's like Transformers. It's based upon Toyland, and it had a cartoon in the '80s.
Yep.
Never watched it though. I've watched the Transformers cartoon and the G.I. Joe cartoon. And Gem and the Hologram. I've never watched Gem and Holograms.
Yeah, Gem and the Hologram. I know that game is too.
I'll just say this. I'll just say this. I watch all the I've seen almost I'm not trying to turn this into a Transformers podcast. Excuse us for talking about Transformers, but I mean for me, I really haven't dived into the comics, so I'm like, this is kind of like okay, I see where this is going. But anyway, back to the main topic.
Marriages.
Marriages.
Yeah.
I feel like marriage, what's that word? Sometimes when they break up a relationship, it could be one fuck you territory. I really feel like it's that one disrespectful thing. And I will agree with Tevia, the one more day pull was probably the most insulting fucking factor of all. I mean,
Yep.
But I know the fans wanted to see it get undone, but
I don't see how.
As long as Quesada works for Marvel, that won't happen.
For me, I'm gonna say this right now. For me, I don't see how. I really don't.
I think it still worked. It's Superior didn't fuck everything up.
Well,
Thank you, Doc.
if they do undo it, you're undoing 9 years of character development for Spider-Man.
So be it. If I did remove 9 years of bullshit to get
Okay,
the man back, I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Tell me. Would you rather have? I'm like, here's the thing now. I'm at that point where, like, is it really necessary to bring them back? Because that would be like, what's the point of bringing back? What's the point of doing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows? That's the whole thing. Like, for me, like, to me, Renew Your Vows is at that, like, is that pretty much giving you what you want?
Yes, which is what I think it's supposed to be an ongoing series, not mistaken.
Yes,
It's supposed to be an alternate universe.
Yeah, and speaking of the writer of the book, the second volume, Jerry Conway, I spoke to the artist who works on Carnage with him, and Carnage is going to end.
Okay.
At issue 16.
Carnage is ending.
Yes, Carnage is ending in issue 16. This is according to Mike Perkins, the artist, because at the time I spoke to him, he was working on issue 15, which, according to solicits, is coming out in December.
Yeah. Carnage one of those series weird.
Yes. But as to where he's going to go after the series is over, who the heck knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you appear in the Venom comic as a villain.
Yep.
Hey, that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of Venom, I read it is a Venom Space Knight, the final issue, and they finally fixed the Mania story arc, which...
Yeah, they took 3 years to finally tie up that loose thread.
Yeah, it did.
I mean,
And
what the heck was preventing Marvel from tying up this loose end?
Probably
off in space? Was that the reason why?
Probably. And speaking of Mania, they actually like reference that, like, that when Venom actually was in space, he talked to Mania, which, okay, if you talked to Mania before, why didn't you resolve it before you went to space?
Yeah, and Tibia, did you notice that Mania, Addie, I think her name is?
Addie.
Did you notice that she grown since the last time she was seen?
I did notice that.
Yeah, she did grow up a bit. It's been a few years since we last saw her.
Is it just me, or did Marvel age her in real time?
I think they did age in real time.
Because when she was first introduced in Bunn's run, she was in high school.
Yep.
And Flash was her high school coach in Philadelphia.
So I'm going to say, Flash can become a teacher, and he can still be a teacher, but Peter can't?
Well, they tried that, Tibia. They tried it. It didn't really much work, and it was JMS who wrote Peter being a science teacher.
I like that.
I know you did. We all did. Like, Terry, this is the one thing I feel like. This is the one thing I really feel like they need to do. This fucking thing where I feel like you need to literally see this whole thing. What you want, not gonna happen. This whole thing, it isn't gonna happen.
Here's something, Edgar. Since Peter has broken up with Carly Cooper, has he actually had a girlfriend since then?
It implies. Shut the fuck up, please. I'm trying to talk here.
Mm-hmm.
It implies that he had a fucking he had something with this girl, in the Mr. Negative storyline. And they're in a couple, but they never really dive into that, which is a very shame, because I'm like, well, if you wanted to imply that they're in a relationship and they also wanted to do stuff, do it then.
And plus, this girl, I think I remember her. As far as I know, for her, before and after this storyline, this character's never seen again.
Yeah, this character's been pointless.
or we haven't seen her since in a while.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if we do see her, I do want to see her and do pretty much have her like be at the forefront on Peter. But I digress. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. I highly doubt that's gonna happen anytime soon because finally that character, she was pointless and boring. Oh no, my man has cancer. I'm gonna help Mr. Negative betray Peter.
Yeah, there
Why?
was a relationship I would have thought it would have worked if it was not Mary Jane being with Spider-Man. How about Carol Danvers? They did go on a date.
I don't think that's happening.
They did date, and it was mentioned in Siege that she was actually attracted to Spider-Man.
Huh. Interesting. So what happened?
Nothing.
Wow, that sucks. So but did you is absolutely nothing.
Oh, and do you know how long it's been since Siege? 6
no idea.
years.
6 years? Damn,
Yes.
time flies.
Yeah, and what has Carol Danvers done since then? Not
Absolutely
much of
nothing.
anything except she hooked up with Rhodey off panel. And that relationship lasted for 2 years. And the only reason why it ended because Rhodey died.
Yep.
Yeah, Rhodey died in action. And it was. I'll just say this: the whole fucking relationship was quite interesting. They could have explored that. I would be welcome on that, but to see that because I haven't seen Rhodey in a relationship in a good long while. So
It's a weird idea, but if you want to know who started that relationship, it was Kelly Sue DeHonnick.
Yep. Wait, I know that. Interesting.
Yeah, she started at the start of not the current it started with the previous volume of Captain Marvel.
Huh. Interesting.
The one that ended at 15 issues.
And then I got rewind to #1. Again.
Yeah, and I noticed in December they changed the name of the series to Mighty Captain Marvel for some reason.
I think I know why, because at the fall of Civil War II, she wanted to hate people in the entire state. Because
yes. I am not sure what Bendis' problem with Carol Danvers is. I mean, he wrote her really well in New Avengers, but yet now she's written to be the most hated person in the Marvel Universe.
She's basically Iron Man in Civil War 1 all over again.
Yeah, but the difference is Mark Millar wrote Iron Man that way, not Bendis.
That's true.
Heck, if you read Iron Man during Civil War, he is completely different in the Iron Man series.
Yeah, he is.
But he is commonly contradicted in most of the tie-ins.
I have a hard time with contradicting. Spider-Man time with contradicting in the main series.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing you can say that's better with Civil War 2 than Civil War 1. The tie-ins don't contradict each other.
Not really. One time I hated Miss Valentine. That time made no sense because I'm Crash. I'm gonna become evil. Why? Because you
one
said
tie-in
so.
that actually did prove that the tie-ins do count. Totally Awesome Hulk. Because
That's the only time that
Bruce
makes
Banner
sense.
died. Because Greg Pak wrote it that Bruce Banner had been cured of the Hulk, and then the Hulk dies in Civil War. I think it was issue 3.
I think issue 2, wasn't it?
I think it was issue 3. Hawkeye killed him. And,
Yeah, good.
And Greg Pak took that and okay, let's write it where Amadeus Cho knew for a fact that he was cured and went after Hawkeye.
Good. I'm glad someone's doing something for once. Like, what the fuck? Wait, you got killed my mentor for no reason? Wait, that's it. I'm gonna kill Hawkeye.
Now, Tibia, my opinion about Hawkeye doing this, I don't have a really big problem with it. Because, as far as I can tell, I think he has killed people in the past, and plus he's worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. So I did not have a problem with him doing this at all. For him, it made sense. It wasn't like they put a regular arrow through his head. He put like one of his trick arrows to his head.
You can believe and I told him to do it.
Yes.
Again.
But the thing is, he was the perfect person to do it because he has good eyesight.
True, but Bruce Banner was cured, so there's no point killing him off. If you're cured,
and apparently, even during the Accused one shot, they actually tried to expand on his trial.
Yeah, they did.
Because I think Bendis didn't have time to do the trial because I think he wanted to do a full issue of Hawkeye's trial, but he just didn't have time, so he handed off to, I think it was Guggenheim.
Yeah,
Which the one shot was good. I got handed to Guggenheim. That was a good one shot.
It was. It's one good one shot. Other time, I think the mid-mall tie-in was amazing. That series is still great, even with the tie-ins. Main Span tie all garbage. 29 tie-in weird.
Yeah. But when it comes to their tie-ins, I mean, some books had their tie-ins run for several issues. The only book I could think of where they had there were 2 books for Civil War II that only had one tie-in.
Yep.
Patsy Walker, a.k.a. Hellcat, and Scarlet Witch. One issue. And that was one issue, and it moved on back to what it was doing. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, one issue. And the Scarlet Witch issue, which I have the issue, Quicksilver goes to Scarlet Witch's apartment. She's back in New York, and she's doing yoga. And basically, he wants her to side with Iron Man, and she wants to side with Carol Danvers because they're old friends. So,
what?
Yeah, and Quicksilver tries to force the matter by nearly trying to kill Wanda with his speed. And then Wanda basically stopped him from doing that and told her to get out of his apartment and she doesn't want to see him ever again because, yeah, Robinson writes the fact that something that's been building ever since the 60s. Pietro has been overly protective of Wanda for years.
Yeah, he has.
So, basically, but both of these characters are acting in character. But what has Quicksilver actually done during Civil War II? Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Heck, he's barely involved in the actual event.
Yeah, he is. Storm involved in the actual event, which confused me because I want to kill you to do it. Why go with Kill? Storm should not be part of Kill. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And
Tivia, did you read Civil War II X-Men?
I read parts of it. I felt pissed off because
here's the thing with this series. Between this and Uncanny X-Men. It's the same writer.
Yep.
But Civil War II X-Men is better than Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah, Uncanny X-Men is garbage. Like, what the fuck are you? It's Magneto trying to kill you. I want Magneto to do it. Please, Magneto. Please kill the pointless character. He's pointless. But then you just said, if you kill
Magneto's an anti-hero now, but he's been this way for the past, 6 years. He has been anti-hero.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have a problem with him being anti-hero. I mean, it's a good development for him, and him killing people, don't have a problem with it. If he kills Nazis, I think everybody's happy with that.
Yep, I support that. You gotta kill Red Skull.
Yeah, and of course, he's the one he basically indirectly started off Access.
Yep.
The one thing that's bothered me about Access is that people have been trying to forget it.
Yeah, Access felt pointless.
Well, it had some good tie-ins, like Avengers World.
Yep.
That had a great tie-in to Access, and I mean, had been for Access, Iron Man would not be a good selling title. Edgar would agree with me on this.
I agree. In fact, Superior Iron Man would fought better than Superior Spider-Man. Superior Iron Man had a brain. Superior Spider-Man was just garbage.
At least, here's the thing. The one thing I can praise Tom Taylor for doing better than Slott did with Superior Spider-Man, at least the supporting character is not going to be so stupid.
Agreed. I agree.
At least these people knew. They know that he's not acting correctly.
Yeah, that I like. That one felt more smarter. Slott, why can't you do that with Spider-Man? Why am I supposed idiots?
I have no idea. I mean, there were some good ideas came from it. I mean, there was one time I never heard anybody talk about this the whole time it was coming out. Axis Revolution.
Never heard of it.
It's a tie-in miniseries, 4 issues.
Was it good?
It was good. It was basically it tells what Sabretooth was up to during the whole event.
Huh. What was he up to?
He was just being a hero.
Of course.
And here's something weird, though. He's still inverted.
He's still in even after Secret Wars?
Yeah, he's still a good guy.
Huh.
I don't
That's
mind this
weird.
at all because this was a good idea, and writers have done a great job with it when it comes to him being as a good guy.
Yeah.
Heck, his costume is similar to Wolverine's. I mean, he doesn't wear the Wolverine mask, per se, but he has a similar costume.
Huh. Interesting.
But
Speaking
the
of
thing is,
axes,
has anybody asked Chris Claremont how he feels about this? Because he created Sabretooth.
I guess not.
If
Speaking of
I'm
axes,
if I'm at Chris Claremont, I will ask him about this. But the only big writer I've met recently was Chuck Dixon.
nice. Howdy.
Well, first time I ever seen him in person. He older guy. He's got white hair and white beard. No, he's not Santa Claus. Oh,
Nice.
and he explained how he got the Nightwing assignment.
Nice.
He told me that originally the book was going to go to Denny O'Neil and Alan Grant. But 1 week before the first script was due, they bailed.
Why? Why they bailed?
I have no idea. He never
What's
told
going
me.
on?
We're talking about Chuck Dixon. He was telling me of how he got to write the series Nightwing.
And we got to talk about access too.
Yeah. He told me that, well, when he got the book, he got the book, and he got Scott McDaniel, who did the artwork for the first few years of the comic. His artwork's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And he was given Bloodhaven to write because he wanted to get, and the whole thing of Nightwing moving to Bloodhaven, that was actually kind of the editor's idea, but he went with it because he developed it, and they want every issue to be a rip off of a Jackie Chan movie.
Yep. And in fact, it was good. What was great to see in that. I mean,
and he agrees with me about this. He did not like what Infinite Crisis did to Bloodhaven.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All the characters he created except for Lady Vic.
All died.
Well, technically, he didn't create Blockbuster.
That's true. Blockbuster was created by someone else.
I think Roger Stern created him during his run for Starman.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, but pretty much any character he created for the Nightwing series all died.
Yep.
And he was
all
not
got
happy.
blown up.
He was even not happy that they were going to kill off Dick. He was not happy with that at all.
I agree. That's Dan DiDio's idea, not Jeff John. Jeff John didn't want to do that. Dan DiDio wanted to do it.
Yeah, and also he was not happy when Spoiler died.
Yeah, that did happen. I think that happened during
War Games.
Yeah, War Games.
So that's the reason why he came back to Robin to bring her back. And do you know why his run was cut short?
New 52, probably reboot.
No, he got fired from the book.
Why?
Don't know. And if you look it up, who next writer was, I think it was February this season took over the book after he left. Who later went to Red Robin.
Oh yeah, that's the other I have to read that. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, and here's the thing: the reason why she became a supporting character in Robin, because the fans loved her. So it was a letter campaign.
Yep.
Fans did letter campaign to him. I'm sure you probably remember seeing letters in comics.
Yeah, I saw one called like.
So there was a letter campaign to bring her back. So he made her a love interest for Tim Drake in the book.
Yep. And did Cassandra Cain got screwed over too? I think she did.
I'll just say this about Tim. Tim, I really like the fact that Tim is. Here's the thing about Tim. I really like the fact that he is a different type of Robin than any other ones. Because he chose to be different. And hell, in the pre-52 books, I heard he wanted to stay as Robin.
Yeah, and when he met Jason Todd in Teen Titans, because he found out that he was new Robin, he was a bit jealous, so he went after him, and he was asked who was the better Robin, him or Jason Todd,
Tim.
Yeah, and Tim beat him in the fight.
Yep.
And they only fought that one time.
Yep. Actually, no,
And
they
then
fought.
later on, he showed up in Green Arrow.
Actually, fun fact, they actually fought in Battle for the Cow.
I think so. Well, I think they
too.
fought when he was Batman.
Yep. So Nightwing. So
Yep.
just 70. I think.
I see you got the new printing of the Robin trades.
Yep.
You got just the first one. You have the first 2 books.
I have like both Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Okay, I think it's going to go up to 4. And when I was at Chuck Dixon's booth, he had Nightwing Volume 4.
Nice.
Up Volume 4. You gotta love those new printings.
Yeah, you can print that really good. I love these covers.
I love the fact DC did that for a majority of the Bat books, but anybody who's not, the only one that's not Batman that got new printing books, there was 2 of them. Green Arrow.
Flash.
Yeah, Flash get him too. Green Arrow for Mike Grell's run for Green Arrow, and Hellblazer.
Yep, Constantine.
Which the most recent book that came out was Volume 13.
13? Wow.
And they started at the same year that they re-released the Nightfall trades.
Huh.
So 4 years they've been coming out with Hellblazer trades.
4 years. Wait, are they Vertigo or are they New 52 Hellblazer?
Vertigo. It's the original Hellblazer book.
Yeah. After New 52 Hellblazer went to DC Universe, the main universe, which I think that's a bad idea.
Well, here's the thing about that, Tibia. The book ended a few years after New 52 started. It ended at issue 300.
Okay. Huh. Well, I wish it ended its story. So that's good news.
I never read 300. I've only read the first 108 issues so far.
I haven't read Hellblazer, to tell you the truth.
But if you read the Constantine book that replaced Hellblazer, it's actually a really good book.
Didn't Constantine crossover with Jessica Dark? That's his team.
Yeah, for Blight. It crossed over with Blight.
Yeah, Blight. It's that train wreck.
Actually, it was actually pretty good crossover. It was a good crossover, Blight, and even Forever Evil was good too. Because
Forever Evil was the only one thing I didn't like with that crossover with Nightwing. They fucking went and fucked him direct again. Yeah,
but the thing with Forever Evil is, it's probably one of the most original crossovers DC has done in the last 30 years.
Agreed. I'll give it that.
I won't say much about Convergence, except they had good artwork.
The only good thing about Convergence were two tie-ins, which I do learn.
It had a majority of its tie-ins I thought were really good. I know you like the Superman tie-in.
Yep.
I think you like Superman. Did you read the Question?
No, I didn't get to read that one.
I have. It's written by Greg Rucka. The Question tie-in. Even Tony Bedard actually wrote one of the tie-in miniseries. I don't remember which one he wrote. I had to look it up. But he wrote one of them.
Hey, Scott O'Dell even wrote two tie-ins and Blue Beetle, and those were good.
Yeah.
Was that a shock?
The thing with the tie-ins, I don't think there was actually a bad tie-in out of the entire event.
Yeah, all the tie-ins were look good. Is that the main book itself was garbage? The main book.
Well, the one thing good I can say about the main book, Tibia, is that it actually had really good artwork.
It had good artwork, but the problem with the main book that pissed me off is that
it was supposed to be a crossover between pre-Flashpoint and post-Flashpoint, but the post-Flashpoint characters were just spectators.
Yep. Yeah, they were spectators, but post-Flashpoint Blue Beetle, how many ways post-Flashpoint Superman, post-Flashpoint Supergirl, post-Flashpoint Orko concepts.
Even Linkara pointed this out during his Blue Beetle retrospective.
Yep.
He pointed out that there's a possibility that the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle cameo was actually put there by mistake.
It probably was, because Jaime Reyes...
Anybody has seen the character since Threshold.
And Threshold was horrible.
It had a good writer with it, Keith Giffen.
Yeah, but it was a bad story.
I thought it was an okay series. I mean, the one thing good about it is it launched the Larfleeze series.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like,
But out of all the books that were cosmic, I think Larfleeze had I think that was like the second shortest book of the cosmic books in the last few years.
Next to the
Because you can't forget about Infinity Man and the Forever People.
I never read Infinity Man.
I did. I thought it was a pretty good series.
Huh. I know Static Shock got short series. There were 8 issues. With 6.
Yeah.
Static.
Yeah. I did read the Static Shock series, but it ended at only 8 issues.
Yeah, it was short.
I never really understood why this series ended. I asked whatchamacallit, Andrew Carter about the series. Mm-hmm. He thought the series was not that good.
I agree with him. I read some of it. It's horrible.
It wasn't a terrible series per se, but my problem with the ending of the series is that Static himself hasn't shown up since the end of the series.
Yeah. Where's he been? Because I thought it came in Teen Titans with New 52.
Some people were hoping he would join the Teen Titans.
That's the one I wanted, but then I realized Scott was there, so no, Scott would kill him off. He killed Artemis.
Well, that whole run is. Let's say this one. I'll still keep on saying it. It's a different take, different type of direction. I understand on that where you're coming from.
Yeah. Have you both read the current Teen Titans book by Ben Percy?
Mm-hmm.
Did you read the first issue?
Yep.
Did you read Edgar? I think he might be away.
Yeah.
I actually read it. I thought it was actually really good.
I liked it too because it actually. Here's the thing about that run. That issue. That issue actually made fun of the New 52 Titans by saying that. Yeah, Tim G wasn't that great.
Tibia, do you have in one of those books? You have Speed Force?
Yep.
Tony Bedard wrote it.
Yep, and I loved it. It was awesome.
Let's see. I think it was one of people who he wrote Aquaman.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, he wrote Aquaman, which I thought was a pretty decent series.
I heard it was decent, but since I heard something with that saying that the reason why his run ended earlier was because it's the editorial that kind of screwed up the entire story.
Yes. Oh, do you know who wrote JLI? Ron.
No.
Ron Martz.
Wait, is the Generation Lost one or this is New 52?
This is for Convergence.
Yeah, Convergence. I know. I read that. I don't know who wrote it. I read it online.
It's Ron Martz, the same guy who did who did Emerald Twilight.
Oh yeah, that train wreck.
Oh, yeah, and guess what he also did?
What?
You ever heard of issue 54? 4 issues after Emerald Twilight? The famous issue that started the phrase "women in refrigerators."
Yeah, I heard about that.
Do you know what happened in the issue?
Yeah, Kyle Rayner.
Horse killed Kyle Rayner's girlfriend and then stuffed her in her refrigerator.
Yep.
And then Ron Martz came back to the series when before it ended, an issue when he came back for like the last couple of years. He did the same thing to Kyle Rayner's mother.
Wow, that must suck.
Oh yeah, and here's something interesting though. He didn't stuff her in the refrigerator. He stuffed her in the oven.
What?
I'm like, really, Ron Martz? He's also the same guy who wrote who also wrote Witchblade briefly.
Yep. that must be like karma, like karma the bitch, like you said. Okay, the female character, his mother, it's not good to go, but I'm gonna kill the mother. Wow, congratulations, Ron Martz. You can pretty have to confirm on Ghost of theory.
Did you read Supergirl The Matrix?
Yeah, I did. Peter David one.
No, I mean the Convergence miniseries.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I did read that. That was weird.
Guess who wrote it?
Who?
Keith Giffen.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, and it's his only miniseries he wrote.
Yeah. I actually heard that it was weird.
You know something interesting about the Swamp Thing miniseries?
Yeah.
It's the same creative team who wrote the recent Swamp Thing miniseries that came out earlier this year. Lane Wein, Kelly Jones, same creative team. Just like how I think didn't Lois and Clark have Lee Weeks as the artist?
Yeah, it says it on this. Oh.
But I don't think that the miniseries is in that trade, is it?
No. We and Scott Hanna, the two artists. Dan Jones wrote it.
Do you think that they should put the 2-issue miniseries in it because that's kind of like a setup for that series?
Yeah, I mean, this trade. Yeah, I think they should have because this trade does tie in to this story. Both stories connect, more or less. I don't know Speed Force. Speed Force is Wild West. I don't think that connected to Rebirth. I wish it did because I miss the two kids. They were awesome.
Yeah. But when it came to Convergence, I could not think of any bad tie-in. I don't think it was any bad tie-in throughout this whole event.
All the tie-ins were great because they actually acted the character we all know love for pre-Flashman before New 52 took over and...
Okay. What we're talking about now?
Convergence, basically.
Convergence, what a pointless fucking event.
Or the tie-ins.
The tie-ins. But the main event, did it do anything?
No.
Exactly. My point exactly.
The only thing the main event did was only it connected to Superman, Lois and Clark.
I'll just say this now. It felt like an Earth 2 event.
It did. The book, the main series led into Earth 2 Society.
Yeah.
So,
and also,
again, it really was a pointless event.
Yes. But it did lead to a few good things. It led to Earth 2 Society, which is still being published as of January.
That's still good.
The Superman Lois and Clark series.
Yep.
Tie-ins Hunt, which I have read is really good.
Yep.
It also led to the very bizarre Telos series.
Yeah, I read that series. That was pointless because Telos' story is confusing. Like, I'm going to talk about my family, and then he go to Brainiac, and then he go to Parallax. Hal Jordan Parallax.
Yeah, which he showed up in Green Lantern 50.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, God, that story was stupid.
But the thing is, since he fought his post-Flashpoint self, he hasn't shown up since then.
Yeah, like he just left somewhere.
I think he might be. I think Venditti might use him again. And Hal Jordan Green Lantern.
Hopefully, because that's the loose end I do want to see happen. Tell us to go bye-bye. I don't give a damn what
I did not like about Last Days of Superman is that, and you might agree with this on Tibia, that post Flashpoint the Supermen only shared like 3 or 4 panels together.
Yeah, that did kind of annoy me because I mean all this build-up, all this
build-up, all this fucking build-up, hints and hints of them meeting each other, and they only met 5 fucking seconds.
Yeah, and he's even teasing Superman 50 they would have met, but nope.
Yeah, it was.
Never happened.
One of the most biggest disappointments I had with that event, of that death in that storyline. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay, it was the biggest disappointment of Last Days of Superman.
It was at the Truth Arc nonsense.
Well, he had already got back his powers by then.
Yeah, he did.
But somehow he was dying. Like, he went through a year of trying to get his powers back, and he got his powers back, and now he's dying?
Well, they did recap because Darkseid War also connected to that.
Do you think Darkseid War happened after Savage Dawn?
Oh, that's
Do
confusing.
you think it did?
I think it did, maybe.
Because
maybe
the whole
it did
Savage
after.
Dawn and True stuff happened at the same time as Darkseid War.
Yeah, it did. Darkseid War, the Titans themselves were just pointless because they kept them up. Shazam.
The one time I thought was really good was Batman.
Yeah.
Because it's Piero de Tomasi.
Yep. The same way
that was really good. Rob Williams, he did a great job writing Superman.
Yeah, he did.
The Shazam one was okay.
Pointless.
The Green Lantern one I thought was really interesting. Wonder Woman didn't need one.
Did Wonder Woman get a tie-in?
Yeah, she did not get one shot. They gave pretty much almost everybody except for, I don't think Cyborg had one.
Cyborg never got one. Flash got one, and I went that. That's it. You tell me.
Lex got one.
Who?
Lex.
Oh yeah, Lex did get one. I did read that.
That was kind of a surprise that he got one.
Same here. I was surprised too.
But in the case of that one, it actually, even though it was set during Darkseid War, it felt like you're reading a Batman book with the Darkseid War stuff.
Yeah, it did.
And most people agree it's the best of the one-shots.
Agreed. The Superman tie-in was stupid. The Lex Luthor tie-in was interesting. Green Lantern tie-in and Shazam tie-in was pointless because they didn't even Marvel family. No Mary Marvel or any cut them Shazam. You know, that's what cut the Marvel.
The main 10 issues.
Yep.
I actually thought those were really good, despite the fact it took a while to get the story moved forward. It was told really well.
Wait, what time in the series?
The Darkseid War.
The Darkseid War.
Justice League. The one I didn't like very much.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was a bit bizarre about the series was that Superwoman and Owlman died.
Yep. Like, and she died into Darkseid. Wait, no, not Darkseid. From
Darkseid died at the end of the first act.
Yeah, he died in the first issues, right? Well, that was pretty pointless. You're telling me you beat all these war with Anti-Martyr Darkseid, and Darkseid dies.
And Anti-Martyr dies at the end of the event. The Anti-Martyr. And one thing that was bizarre about the Anti-Martyr was how short he was. Because when you think of Anti-Martyr, the guy is a giant. The guy is the size of a planet.
Yeah.
And he's basically the size of Darkseid. I'm like, I don't mind his new look. That's not the problem. My problem is how short he was.
He was short. And another thing confusing about the Anti-Monitor was that, wait, I'm confused. The Anti-Monitor was the one who caught the first crisis. He caught crisis on the Earths.
Yes, and he's the one in this continuity who destroyed Earth 3.
Yeah, he did. He destroyed the crime syndicate's home.
The one crime syndicate that confirmed he actually died or not was Ultraman.
Oh yeah, they never tied it up.
Yeah, he just disappeared. I mean, Owlman died in the last issue with him blowing up because he got too much stuff in his head.
Yep.
Superman was killed by Growl, Darkseid's daughter.
Yep.
Woman was spent half the time sitting in a cave butt naked for no reason.
Yep.
And she's still Superwoman's baby.
Yep, a Superman baby would actually use to absorb all the power from the Jet Degree, and then it became Darkseid. Like, that could be like, what? Like, oh
and
my
the thing with that baby is that's Earth 3 Lex Luthor's baby.
Yeah, it is. My gosh,
yeah, but I don't know if John's forgot that or not. He wrote Forever Evil. I think he forgot that.
I think John did forget that because that was weird. That confused the hell out of me. We could wait. You're telling me Earth 3 got stupid baby because you're all the power of the guy then become Darkseid? Huh?
Yeah, it's a bit bizarre. Yeah, it had a weird ending. But 50 was actually John's last issue, and then the last couple issues were preludes to 2 books. 51 was a prelude to Titans, your favorite book.
Yep.
And 52
Wally West.
was the lead into Action Comics.
Oh yeah, it was reading the Action Comics because we started actually getting the Superman.
The whole point of the
like,
issue,
after
the whole
Superman.
point of it was to explain where Lex got his armor from.
Yep. Speaking of after Superman, I bought it on Amazon. I'm getting it like tomorrow. So
Do you think in the first trade for Action Comics, the current run, do you think it might have the Justice League issue? You think it'll have it in there?
I think they will. Maybe I don't know. That's gonna be interesting if they do that. If they don't, that's fine.
Well, I know when Wally showed up in this is pre-Flashpoint Wally, when he showed up in when he showed up in Flash.
Yep.
It was after the first. It was after the first arc of Titans.
Godspeed.
Well, actually, from Titans' perspective, it took place after Titans.
No, after Titans Hunt.
Well, actually, after the current arc of Titans.
Oh, the current arc. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm like, when is this arc gonna wrap up? It's only been going on for 4 issues now.
Yeah, I think after issue 6, maybe that's the final issue of that arc.
Possibly, but I kind of feel as though the Titans feels like a Wally West book. Then
I'm actually happy with because previously Wally West, I missed him so I'm glad I have a story and you're talking about Linda's wife.
Yeah, the one thing I thought was a bit bizarre about the Titans book is that in Wonder Woman, Donna Troy is not wearing the outfit she's wearing in the book.
No,
she's wearing. I mean, if you remember what David Finch gave her, it's similar to her outfit she had in pre-Flashpoint.
Wasn't Donna Troy David Finch one evil?
Yeah, but when she stopped being evil and became the embodiment of Fate, of the Fate Sisters, because she killed the Fate Sisters. You have to read Wonder Woman.
Confusing and weird and stupid.
Yeah, they gave her pretty much her outfit that she had in pre-Flash. You know, like the silver boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave her that outfit. It's similar, but not exactly the same. It's kind of like what they did with Power Girl. They gave her a makeover. Had the same outfit, but just gave a makeover.
Yeah.
Like, there was no room made change to it. But Power Girl, the one thing I thought was weird about how she is now is that they closed a hole in her costume.
No, they did. Twice, in fact.
Because she got her cousin symbol, and somehow it merged with her costume so it could cover up her boob hole.
Like why? Like the boob hole
happened in World's End.
Ugh. Stupid Earth World's End bullshit.
But the one thing I thought was bizarre about the book is that that you have it where Power Girl is basically since she's gone back to Earth 2, she's never spoken a word to Mr. Terrific.
She's been a pretty useless as Huntress. They've both been useless in Earth 2.
Well, Power Girl has been used pretty well, but she's never interacted with Mr. Terrific at all. Because if you read the Mr. Terrific comic, they were a couple. And yet by this book, it's like they don't share any panel time. They don't talk to each other. It's like, what is the end of this problem with this couple? I mean,
like why can't they get married?
No, I mean, like if you read the World's Finest book, the one Paul Levitz wrote.
Yeah, the New 52 one with Hunter and Power Girl and the post-Flashpoint universe.
Yeah. They bring up they still bring up the fact that Mr. Terrific and Power Girl were a couple, and yet we're going to get back to Earth 2. The relationship is never brought up at all.
Yeah, that's confusing and weird and bizarre.
Yeah, and of course she was with Cal Zod.
Oh yeah, the first one in that entire Earth 2 series.
Which I thought he was an interesting character.
I think he's interesting, yeah, but the problem with Earth 2 now is that it's going nowhere, and no one gets them educated. No one can get them on Earth 2 with Power Girl and Hundreds, and that's it.
Have you read the most recent issues they've done for the series?
I did, and I'm still confused and lost because
I think you're happy with this. the real Ultra Humanite is in the book.
Yeah, I got that happy because
Yeah, because
finally,
I'm familiar with this guy because I remember from Justice League. But I'm like, yeah, this is the real Ultra Humanite. The one that appeared before, that's an imposter. Even you agree with me on that.
Yeah, I agree.
It looks like Ultra Human. It's like no change. I mean, he's complete in character.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he's been keeping John Grayson this whole time.
Yep.
Okay. And apparently he's aged.
Yep.
Okay.
When did that happen? One, how did he catch him? Two, when the hell did this happen? I thought he died in Earth 2 World End. Like, everything is ending.
But have you noticed Dick Grayson's gone through 2 bad costumes so far?
I did. One with the looking metal stuff with Telos. The other one was...
Well, the colors were based upon Batman and Zor-El, the first costume he had. And this one, I think it's based upon the Thomas Wayne outfit.
Yeah. With Thomas Wayne Batman, the only kid I'd given out about Earth 2, but when he died in conversion, I said, well, second one kid I don't care about. Gone. That sucks.
Well, he's the reason why James Robinson left the book.
He is?
Huh. Yeah. He's the reason why he left. And plus also his identity was leaked prior to being revealed he was Thomas Wayne.
Oh.
I mean there was some speculation. Some people thought he was Jim Gordon.
Yeah,
this is before the Superman stuff. Some people thought he couldn't have been Dick Grayson because he hasn't shown up yet. Some people thought it could have been some people thought it was Jason Todd.
Yeah.
That was a plausible theory because he used guns.
Yeah, Leonard.
Yeah.
Leonard appeared in this train wreck.
Yeah, I know. But
I hate this book.
I even came up with the strange theory that maybe there was a version of Damian Wayne on that Earth who was posing as Batman. But then revealed it was Thomas Wayne? Okay.
Yeah, that confused me because, what? We had Thomas Wayne Flashpoint. Why are we bringing him back again? What?
I think the reason why they did it, my theory, the Flashpoint movie, which came out around the same time that the Ark did. That's probably the reason why they did it. Just like how on Arrow they have it where the Earth 2 version of Green Arrow is Robert Queen.
That makes sense.
Which I have heard in episode 100 of Arrow, they are going to meet.
So they're finally going to do the Flashpoint, finally going to do something?
Yeah, also, the Flashpoint stuff they did in Flash, it is affecting Arrow. Like, they got rid of, they replaced Diggle's daughter with John Jr.
Yeah,
as far as I can tell, most of the stuff that happened before did happen. Right now it's just little changes here and there. Oh, the biggest change is the fact that Cisco's brother is dead.
Yep.
I'm like, okay. I'm happy with the fact also that Iris and Barry are a couple.
Yep.
I'm happy about that. About freaking time. It took 3 years. Took 3 years for this to happen, and it's happening.
Yep.
Though they might break up. It's a theory rolling around they might break up. Of course, Zilla started that rumor.
Hopefully that doesn't happen because I'm sick and tired of this trying to bullshit.
I mean, did you watch my Many Things Wrong with like Arrow seasons 3 and 4?
Yeah, I did. And I agree with you.
Yeah, and I listed up one of my mistakes.
Oh, we're talking about Arrow now? No.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I did a video, Edgar, I don't know if you saw it, where
I saw
it. One of the problems I listed up with season 4 was killing out Floral.
That was inevitable for me because the moment she got her ass kicked, I'm like, yeah, I could see that. I could see her death. And the one thing that really kind of like ticked me off is they made her too overpowered. They made Damien Dark too overpowered.
Yes. Though he's a complete character that he was in the comics. In the comics, he was a tech wizard. In the show, he is a sorcerer, I think. They never show him actually casting any spells, but he's powered by magic.
Yep. Didn't Damon Dark appear in Teen Titans? I think he did.
In Titans book.
Titans, yeah.
He appeared during the first year of the comic.
Yeah.
And I know Edgar plans on reviewing that comic. It's one of his books he wants to review.
Yeah. Anyway, we went off topic.
Yeah, we have, and we've been going, and this has been on for like 2 hours now.
Yeah, 2 hours. So
let's end this. We'll do a part 2 later.
Well, we got final thoughts. Final thought: the marriages in comics. We went off topic. We did part 2.
Yeah, I know we did, but it can work if you put good writers on it. Bad writers like Dan DiDio, he's written some good stuff, but when he's writing marriages, he sucks at it.
So damn soft.
Yeah. The only people, well, I mean, aside from Jeff Lemire and Robert Kirkman, who can you list off who's good at writing marriages in comics?
Peter David.
Okay, I'll say this about Dan. Actually, I really, really beg to differ that he can't write a love story. So if that's so, he would suck at Renewing Vows. So
yeah, good. So I did like Renewing Vows, and this is good. This is amazing. This is one of the best work on Spidey.
Yeah, but I digress. I feel the one love story. I think to me, I agree with Nick. You have to have a good writer to make a good love story, or you have to do it really delicately to do a good love story. And it's just that stuff like fucking Arrow that butchers the fucking story of Black Canary and Green Arrow.
Yeah, because the Arrow writers know nothing about romance.
Yeah, all they care about is like Felicity and her bullshit.
No, it's just a fan demand as well.
Yep.
Yes.